What's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches back with another video, and y'all see what we're working with today. You guys will be surprised to hear the backstory of this client. She was doing so well, and then we hit a bump in the road. So I want you guys to see how was I able to even do anything with this, and what is the final result. Before we get into that, you guys don't forget to check the description for all of my coupon codes and stuff. And I finally did it, you guys. I have classes, one-on-one classes and group classes available on my online website. I will leave all the details linked below. Okay, so check that out if you're interested in learning from me one-on-one, just me and you, or check to see if I have any group classes coming up. All right, of course, don't forget to turn your notifications on so you don't miss out. So let me tell you guys what happened to this client. I actually just recently did a video on her toenails, and so I'll go ahead and link that for you so you guys can see like her progress recently. This client has been with me for pretty close to a year. She already previously had damaged toenails. Okay, she had to get toenail removal about a year ago and everything like that. So we've been working on it, you know, doing reconstructions, and she's been doing pretty well. We noticed actually quite a bit of growth. I actually stopped seeing her from the summertime, and when she came back to me about a month ago, and I looked down, I'm like, well, what in the hell happened? Like, literally, what the hell? And she told me that a generator dropped on her feet. And unfortunately, that caused her toenail to pretty much get jammed into her skin, into the matrix area, the mantle area, basically where your toenail actually comes from. And she had to get her toenails removed again. So although they look kind of rough, you guys, she has a podiatrist that she goes to. She was cleared for this service. She's not in any pain. They look really, really bad, but again, she has been healing for quite some time from this toenail removal. So I'm going to show you guys how I did this reconstruction. Actually, I did already post the first toenail on my Instagram and here in YouTube Shorts if you want to see that process. So of course, we're going to prep as normal, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So this is the color we're using. You already know if it's not nut polish, it's not nothing. And for situations like this where it seems like it's a lot harder than what it really is, I like to start with a nice solid bead, not too wet, not too dry, okay? I will go ahead and lay that bead on top of the area that's already there. And then what you're gonna see me do is let it settle for a second, okay? So that way I can grab it and move it all as one big large lump instead of it's running in different directions, okay? And you guys can see I am going to start to pat and pull it towards the tip of the natural nail. And we are gonna go ahead and start shaping what I will call, I guess, her toenail. I'm trying to figure out how to put that in words. So the thing about it is, when you have to do reconstructions like this, you have to make sure that the foundation is very solid. This is why I lay the bead up on top of the physical nail. I let it set for a minute so everything that I'm pulling is being pulled all at the same rate. As you guys can see, I'm able to flatten it out and get the bead to start building that foundation. You guys see me attaching it to the corners and everything of the real nail, because if I don't do this now, and this is our like sub layer, right? Like if you were to use Photoshop or something, if your sub layer that can't be seen is really raggedy and bad, it's gonna affect everything else. All right, I want to point out, no, she doesn't have any fungus or anything like that. As I mentioned, her toes look like this simply just due to injury. Okay, yeah, so when you're doing reconstructions like this, you have to be careful, because you want to make sure that you are basically fitting what's already there. So I have to make the width available to, how do I say this, you guys? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been gone for about a month from doing long length tutorials. I really needed a mental break. I honestly kind of was dealing with a lot, and then some of the comments that I get here on YouTube are honestly really fucking not nice, and I'm a pretty tough cookie and everything, but I kind of just had to take a little bit of a break. So, you know, excuse me while I get into the swing of voiceovers again, okay? So let me just let that be known. So what I'm trying to say is, whatever is already pre-existing, I have to build on that and match that. So I cannot make the width of her toenail any like slimmer than what the width is here. So you guys are seeing me as it's drying down, I'm pushing and pulling. I like to put my brush underneath and leave a little bit of room underneath the tip, so that way as it grows and everything, and it's not going to cause any problems. And so that way when I'll go and file, I'm not going to cut her. So once I have that base layer down, I'm going to go ahead and work in the cuticle area. Now, as you guys can see, her cuticle area is oddly shaped right now. Before, it did have a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, a regular shape, but right now it is shaped a little bit irregular. You guys can see that the highest points of her cuticle area is in the corners, and it look like dips down lower in the middle, and all I can do is follow that. I can't create a new cuticle area. I can't do any of that. I'm not in the business of trying to restructure someone's whole toenail, because guess what? It's still gonna grow back irregular because it's been damaged. It's not going to grow back regular. So just keep in mind when you're tucking the cuticles and doing things like this, we want to use tricks and basically making the illusion of like, hey, we are reconstructing this and making it look as best as what we can make it be. But I cannot change anything about how the toenail is growing. All right. So once I lay that sub layer, I go ahead and worry about the rest of the cuticle area. And then from there, I am going to determine if I feel like this is the right length. Now, we're not going to go too long because, again, this is a more recent injury, and I want to see how it does, if it grows out, how it grows out, because, you know, the last time that she was coming here, I was able to see, okay, hey, how is this going and everything like that. But this is a brand new injury, which means we're dealing with possibly a brand new growth pattern. I also don't know if any of this discoloration is going to stay or go. And honestly, neither does her podiatrist. Okay, so you have to keep those type of things in mind. So what I'm doing here is, like I mentioned, I am pretty much determining how long or short do I want the toenail. And you always want to make it a little bit longer than what you want it to be in the end, because you have to take in consideration the filing process, right? Because after all this, we are going to file it some, and we want to make sure both toenails are at least as equally matched as possible. Now, sometimes, depending on the injury, I might make one toenail a little bit shorter than the other if, you know, something really crazy is going on or anything like that. But for the most part, you want to make sure everything's going to be nice and even, nice and just nice. I don't really have too many more other words for that. So I just go ahead and add some extra to the tip and then just build it out that way. Okay, so we want to square it out as much as possible as we can now, so that way there's less filing later. Now you're gonna notice it is a little, you know, uneven as far as the surface, because everything's uneven. Her actual toenails are uneven, the surface is uneven. So we're using the acrylic now to build everything out, and if we have to go back in and add little areas to add little areas of acrylic to make things a little bit more all on the same layer, you know. So as you guys can see in the cuticle area, I'm trying to make the illusion that it's a little bit more rounded and more not as dipped low in the middle. And then also in that corner area, I need to make it look like it's not as recessed. So I'm using the acrylic here to go ahead and sculpt those areas up. So when I go and file, I can use my hand file and my e-file to kind of make everything look a little bit more normal. So from here, it's pretty much easy, honestly. I do want to let y'all know that if you guys are seeing toenails that are extremely damaged for whatever reason, I just want to let y'all know, okay, I'm really tired of people saying everything be fungus when it's not. Y'all, I understand everyone's going to have differences of opinions on things, but me personally, that's just not how I roll. If I feel like someone is dealing with fungus, or I know they are, I do not service them. So I just really want to reiterate how many things there are out there that can look fungal-like that aren't actually fungal. Okay, a lot of things can happen just due to injury, medications, illness, and other type of disorders that are not fungal in nature. So if you have not gone through the process of school, nail school or anything like that to be able to accurately determine these sort of things, I highly suggest that you be careful doing this, because there's a lot of things out there that you have to be aware of, so that way you know how to proceed and you know how to advise people. Okay, so I always like to give that disclaimer that nails is just deeper than what it physically looks like. I know people get freaked out saying like, oh, you don't wear gloves when you touch a foot. You guys, honestly, it's no different than you touching that person's hand. And I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of people that don't even require their clients to wash or sanitize their hands before they touch them. So really, there's really no difference. You know what I'm saying? So let's kind of get that stigma out of here. I do have a glove on that hand, because I think I had like a cut or something going on that was bothering me. And obviously I would prefer not to get any type of dust or anything in my own self. So yeah, so you know, just a little disclaimer for those who are worried about, you know, if this is good for this particular client. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to seal the cuticles. This right here, when you're doing reconstructions, this is where you need to really pay attention, because the thing about it is when you're doing a reconstruction, the surface of the toenail itself sometimes is uneven, sometimes it's bulbous, and the way the acrylic is laid is not always laid the most flush manner. So we really need to use our e-file not only to seal the cuticle area and the areas that, even though they don't have a quote unquote cuticle there, like in the sidewalls, like missing areas, you still got to go around. Okay, but we also have to be careful in the angle and the manner that we are e-filing. We need to make sure that we are using proper techniques, because you don't want to dig into somebody's nail. You don't want to dig into their cuticle area, especially if they already have damage. So you can see how I'm adjusting my e-file based on where I'm at, and as well as like the actual, I don't want to say terrain, because terrain is like outdoor type stuff, but you know what I'm saying, surface. So we just want to make sure that we are using safe e-filing techniques. We want to, you can see on the top, we're pretty flush and just pretty much laying right on top. And then in the cuticle area, you guys saw that I had it at a slight angle and was just kind of rotating and adjusting as need be. So once it's dried enough, we're going to go ahead and shape the actual toenail. Now here is where you kind of want to pay attention for areas that are maybe too pointy, too sharp. You want to make sure you're getting underneath like this. Be careful so you don't cut someone. The reason why you want to get underneath there is because it's all sculpted with just acrylic and there was nothing to follow. You really need to make sure that it's as clean as possible from what you can see. Now granted, the acrylic underneath in that sub layer, as long as it's laid flat, it won't be a problem. But now is where you will notice if things are laid kind of raggedy or jagged. You see how I'm looking underneath there? It's because I want to make sure things are laid in an even manner. So I will go on top with my hand file to smooth everything out. I don't like using my e-file for every part, because the thing is, you can, number one, you don't want to hurt somebody or cause any excess issues, but number two, your hand file is going to be able to get, you control the pressure, you can feel the pressure, so it's going to be a lot more helpful when you're actually filing over top. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go and check back and forth. You guys see me, I'm walking next to the client. I pretty much go and sit next to them almost. I'm really like face down, ass tooted up type shit, so that way I can literally see from their perspective, and then I come back from my perspective to see, make sure everything is all good. And honestly, that's the trick. So even though reconstructions like this look like it's gonna take all day and night, it honestly doesn't. I honestly, because she got a pedicure and a reconstruction, I want to say the whole process was like an hour and a half. So you see how I'm wiggling it up and down? That is me determining like, okay, it's solid, it's nothing's gonna happen to it, and you know, that's fine. But the thing is, you have to, that's why we determine the length. So although it looks one length here, when you see it from their perspective, that will tell you the actual length. So people who have lifting or separation from the nail plate, you know, of their real nail, it will wiggle like that. And then people who they have only partial nail, it's gonna wiggle like that. Don't get too scared. This is why you assess firsthand before you even start this process. Is this toenail strong enough to be doing all of this? Because otherwise it will not last. Okay, so we're gonna be careful with all of that. Now, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I do want to say thank you guys for being patient with me. I have been mentally going through it these past couple weeks. I really needed some time, you know, along with working, to just kind of try and put my head together. I'm feeling a much better place. Again, I am doing in-person one-on-ones that will be posted on my website. I'm going to leave everything down below. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what else you guys want to see, and thank you guys for your support.